my last video, I was talking about how I like to use my credit cards for all of my spend. It's really maybe only three things that I'm not using my credit cards for, and I use it out of my checking account. And I like to use my credit cards because y'all, I'm trying to get the points, cash back, and rewards because I'm using my points for trips. And this year, I've already been able to go on 2 trips using my points and my cash back for flights and hotels. And later this month, I'm going to be going on a trip where I use my points for a flight. And so this is why I really, really like to use my credit cards for everything. But the only thing is, we really want to make sure that we are paying our credit cards in the right timing. And so in this video, I want to share a credit card utilization hack. I love using this hack to be able to increase my credit score while I'm showing utilization. But even though I'm showing utilization on my credit cards, y'all, I'm not paying interest, because the thing is, if we are using our credit cards for all of our spend so we can get the points and cash back and all of that, we really don't want to pay interest on our credit cards, because really that's just going to be like breaking even. So in this video, I'm going to be showing credit card utilization hack. Let's get into it. So if you're trying to increase your credit score fast, this is a credit card utilization hack that you want to use, because you'll be able to see an increase in your credit score by next month. And so what we want to do is, there are going to be 3 things that you want to do. So one, you want to figure out what credit card utilization that you're wanting to report. Because if we are trying to increase our credit score fast, we have to tackle our credit card utilization. Because when we're taking a look at our credit score is made up of 5 components. So we have our payment history, our credit card utilization, our length of credit, our new credit, and our credit mix. And our payment history and our credit card utilization is 65% of our credit score. But our credit card utilization is 30% of our credit score. But if we want to increase our credit score fast, y'all, we got to tackle that credit card utilization. And so when we go on to the Experian site, it states that we want to have our credit card utilization 7% or less. But, things happen month to month, because last month I had reported 45% credit card utilization on one of my credit cards. So stuff happened. But the thing is, we just really have to figure out how we're trying to show usage on our credit cards. So here is what you need. So one, what is the ideal credit card utilization that you want? So let's say if you're maxed out, how can you get to 50%? If you're 50%, how can you get to 30%? If you're 30%, how can you get to 10% or 7%? And if you do that, I promise you, you can see an increase in your credit score next month. Next, we have to be able to find our due date and our statement date. And then the last thing that we want to do is determine when we want to pay it after it has reported to the credit bureau. So last month, I had showed y'all where I had reported 45%. It was 40 something percent. And I had made the payment and it had reported to the credit bureau. So I'm going to show you what it looks like this month. So we're taking a look at my statement for my Citi Platinum American Airlines card. And first, we're going to take a look at the billing period. So the billing period is from 6/3 to 7/1 of 2025. So this is very recent. And 7/1, that's going to be my statement date or closing date. And that's when Citi is going to be reporting to the credit bureau. So your statement date and your closing date is going to be when is your creditor going to be reporting to the credit bureau. And then you can see my due date is 7/27 of 2025. And my balance is $287. And then my minimum payment is $41. So what I was doing is, last month I had reported over 40%. And so this month I did not want to do that. And I really wanted to report 7%. So I paid it down to 7% on this credit card, because my credit limit on this credit card is $4,100. So I just wanted to make sure that I was reporting 7%. And that's what I did. And so since my statement date or my closing date is 7/1, so now that Citi has reported to the credit bureau that I owe $287, I should be able to go and check my credit report to see that it has reported $287. So I check my credit report through the Citi portal, and I'm able to check my credit card utilization. So right now I see that Citi reported $287, and that is going to be 7% of my credit card utilization. And so that's what I wanted. I wanted to make sure that I was reporting 7%. And so now what I want to do is, as long as I make my payment before 727, I'm not going to pay interest on this credit card. And that's the main thing. So usually what I like to do, I like to pay it down a little bit before. Now, the good thing is with Citi, as soon as you make your payment, it's going to post that my new balance is whatever I pay it down to. So when I paid it down to 287, that's what it showed in the portal, even though the payment haven't posted. But some creditors, they don't do it that way. When you pay it, and then once it posts to your bank account, then that's when they'll take the balance down. So we just have to make sure that we pay it in enough days to where, it's going to report what we wanted to report. And when I check my overall credit card utilization, you can see that I'm still at 1%, even though I had reported 7% credit card utilization on this credit card. I reported 5% credit card utilization on one card, 1%. Now, the thing is, y'all, I got 14 credit cards. Now, I make sure that I'm only really using 2 or 3 credit cards, that I'm rotating. Because right now I'm using the Citi Platinum American Airlines, my Hilton Honor Surpass, and then I'm using my Chase Southwest credit card. And really, I'm just using the airline credit cards because I'm really trying to get points because I have enough hotel points. So I'm really trying to get airline points. And then even though I have 14 credit cards, I'm usually not trying to report a whole lot, but I do like to report some on some of the other credit cards just so that I can make sure that I'm showing usage. So you'll have to let me know, what are you thinking about this? Because the thing is, really, before a couple of years ago, when I had $11,000 in credit card debt, I'm just like, how you'll just be like, well, I'm going to pay at the due date. But then once I figured out this credit card utilization, heck, y'all, this has been a game changer to where really you can just play with it to say, okay, I want to report this amount. Because see, the thing is, you can max out the credit card, or let's say if you're using it, because with me only having $4,000, that's kind of a low, credit limit on that credit card. So it's easy to get up to 40 or 50% credit card utilization on that card. But we'll have to take a look at our individual credit cards along with our overall, because even though for last month, when I had reported over 45%, and then one time, y'all, I had reported 45% on one card and 25% on another, my credit card utilization was still 3%. So that's why I like to look at it individually and overall so that I can see what's going on. But I think this really works if you are trying to use credit cards for points and cash back and all that kind of stuff. But if you're just using one credit card, it's not really going to matter on the one hand. But I think it still kind of matter because you want to show usage on that credit card but not pay interest. So you'll have to let me know, what are you thinking about that? Because overall, one, when we're using a credit card utilization hack, we want to figure out what is our ideal credit card utilization that we want to report overall and individually. Then two, what is our due date and our statement date? And then after your statement date, when are you going to pay it off so that you're not paying interest? And I think if we do this, like, we can use our credit cards in a smart way to where we're not paying interest on credit cards and we're just using the credit cards to benefit us. And that's really what I'm trying to do on my channel. Really just talk about it in a way to where how can we use credit in a smart way, but not paying interest, because I don't want to be paying interest to the bank or the credit union, because I want to use that money to do other stuff, and then if we're using the points and the cash back, we're just breaking even if we're paying interest. And so, I paid my fair share of interest on credit cards, but I think once I really understood how credit works and understand our credit score and our credit profile, y'all, we can do this. So let me know in the comments, what are you thinking? And what is your ideal credit card utilization? Well, I hope that you found this helpful. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and turn your notification bell on so you'll be notified when new content drops. I thank you so much for watching. Until next time, for a way to keep track of your monthly budget, well, check out my 2025 digital budget planner. I posted it on my Etsy shop. You can go into the description and click on the link. In the budget, you have goal setting, you have a monthly budget, a debt repayment, you have a savings tracker. So check out the 2025 digital budget planner on my Etsy shop. It's not a game.